everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Stating the Obvious. With our regular intro, we're going to have everyone here state something obvious. So, Jacob, why don't you start us off?
Something obvious to me. In the trunk of an elephant, there's over 40 times the amount of muscles that there are in an adult.
How is that obvious?
I saw it on the internet, man. It was pretty obvious to me after I saw
he's
that.
done the dissections. He's done the dissections of the elephants.
There's 40,000 ligaments and individual muscles in an elephant, just the trunk alone.
That's cool, I guess.
Pretty obvious.
I will be sure to remember that if I ever get mauled by an elephant.
Well, you'll probably be dead, but good to note.
Well, at least I'll be killed by something with the muscle strength of 40 times the average human or whatever it was.
It's an honorable death.
It is an honorable death.
Okay.
Elephants are fascinating creatures.
Is that your obvious thing, Noah, or you have something else to say?
Oh, okay, no.
Did you know that elephants have been known to mourn their dead?
I do know that.
Also, elephants remember when humans helped them. They have been known to go to elephant refuges set up by humans in the wild to help elephants.
Elephants are very intelligent.
If you look at the brain activity of an elephant, it reacts the same way a human reacts to a puppy or a dog, right? So they basically think all these cute creatures are coming to kill their entire families and sell them into jewelry.
I mean, honestly, I feel like I would feel the same way if a bunch of dogs invaded my house. I mean, yes, I enjoy dogs, but 7 billion dogs. If it's 7 billion dogs and they're armed with AK-47s and they want to take my teeth, no thanks. I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Respectfully, no.
Yes. Well.
Okay. And with
this is now an elephant podcast.
With that, let's turn it over to Pernay. State something obvious.
I don't know anything that obvious about elephants. I don't know much about elephants in the first place.
Just read the script. It's right there in the script. What are you doing?
No, I'm gonna go with a different fact.
Oh my god.
Did you know that hot water freezes faster than cold water?
Yeah, I actually did know that.
This is why it's something obvious. It's something called the Mbeppa effect. And I actually just searched this up 5 seconds ago.
Good job.
Because, but yeah, I don't know. This is kind of interesting. I feel like I got in an argument once with someone, and where I said hot water freezes faster than cold water, but I just I never searched it up or anything, and I thought I was trolling them, but apparently they were trolling me.
You were trolling yourself.
You know how hot water and cold water, when you pour them, you can hear the difference.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference? Because honestly, I prefer
preference or sound.
Yeah. I don't know. I prefer the sound of hot water pouring than cold water pouring. I don't know why.
I like hot water just to drink. Just because I don't know. I just
really.
I just like drinking hot water.
What's wrong with you? Not even.
Okay, I mean, if I'm running outside and doing stuff, then obviously I don't like hot water. But if I'm just chilling,
that's fine.
I don't know, man. I honestly, this is just me. I don't see the point of boiling water if you're not going to make it into tea. You have the option to turn it into tea, right? Why would you not take that road?
Speaking of tea, something obvious to me is I have a cup of tea right now, and I'm
nice.
enjoying it. It's green tea, I'm pretty sure, but it's a variation.
Is it just a mystery tea? You just picked it up,
honestly,
you just found it?
I'm pretty sure those kind of tea boxes exist where it's just a mystery tea. Every bag is something different.
Those jelly beans? There's
oh god, no. Tea is so much better. Tea is so
bad.
No, I mean I don't like jelly beans, but there's the mystery jelly beans that gives you 2 options.
Yeah, the one where they have the gross flavor and
Be Boozled, right?
Yeah, something like that. Oh my god, dude. I had that. Oh, I had the puke flavored jelly bean. I ate it. Oh, so bad. The worst thing was it was in a group, right? And I ate it, and my first response was I cannot show how much pain I'm in right now. Everybody was looking at me. They're like, "Oh, did he get the good one or the bad one?" They were just staring at me. And I was like, "I must remain impassive. I cannot show emotion." So I was just chewing it. I was just I can't show any emotion. I wanted to spit. I wanted to throw up so bad, but I couldn't. they're like, oh, he's not reacting. It must have been fine. And
No,
meanwhile, on the inside, I felt like I wanted to die.
no, this is actually the same like chemical that makes up like the smell and taste of vomit is the same thing that makes up Parmesan cheese, benzoic acid. And so if you show like just a beaker of this chemical and you give it to someone blindfolded and you tell them it's puke, they'll like get disgusted and grossed out. But if you tell them it's Parmesan cheese, they'll like think it smells really, really good. Because it's the same thing. It's just like what you think it is.
Why are you trying to ruin cheese? Like,
yeah, I don't know how I feel about this
like,
now.
bro, don't hate
I like
cheese.
Parmesan, man.
Dude, cheese is literally what makes everything good.
I know, right?
It's what makes a vegetarian's life livable.
I do not appreciate that. However,
Honestly, that's
it may be
pretty
true.
fair.
It may be true. I won't
Like,
deny.
could you imagine pizza without cheese? It's just like bread and tomato sauce.
I have, you know Cal, right?
Yeah.
One of our friends, he has had pizza without cheese. Can confirm this.
That poor man.
Yeah,
That poor man.
I don't know how he lives life. I mean, now it's okay, but like still, he doesn't like cheese. So.
Speaking of poor men, we did something recently that had to do with a lot of poor people, specifically in a very poor region, Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, look at that segue.
Sounds a little racist to me. Sounds racist to me.
Okay, look. All I'm saying is Africa kind of lacking in the money department. I don't think that's racist. In fact, if anything, we should be giving them more money. But I'm just saying, as it stands, not a lot of money. But that's what we kind of tried to fix, I guess. Although we weren't really fixing it.
So you're using your
we were just pretending
racism
to fix it
for good.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what's happening.
I got it. Okay, I'm with you there.
Yo,
Makes
PJ,
sense.
why don't you give us a little overview of what we did?
Okay, fine. I thought no, it was. Well, I'll go ahead and do it. Okay, well,
I mean, you're the one who
either
dragged
way,
us into this
Yeah,
thing.
you literally signed us up.
That's true. Okay, so there a lot of people know what hackathons are. Pretty much like 24 to like 36-hour range kind of competition thing where typically for a hackathon it involves like coding, some sort of project based on some sort of theme. It differs based on hackathon.
Hence the hack part of the hackathon.
Yeah, the hacking. This one was a policy hackathon, so it's kind of like econ related, kind of like government kind of stuff.
Econ short for economics.
Yeah, if you didn't know that, then
we're just making sure we're making this podcast very accessible.
I mean, we are stating the obvious, so
yes.
You don't know you're going on theme, and I like it. Okay, but either way, we had to make like a policy sort of thing, and our topic. So we all joined in this, along with one other friend, MK, and so we essentially went to the competition. We're supposed to essentially solve any sort of financial crisis that resulted from COVID. So we're supposed to get a country or a region or like it was a bit vague, the question about the government that we're supposed to help, but try to get them back on track after like COVID financial collapse. And so we decided to focus on Africa. And
the entire like continent.
Yep.
In retrospect, might have been a bit of an ambitious decision. Yeah.
Try to help them with all the debt problems.
Look, we're using racism for good. Okay, we didn't discriminate. We didn't discriminate against other African countries. We embraced all of them.
True. We embraced
Wakanda forever.
I am a big Wakanda fan.
No, I noticed something though on like their website. They linked a couple of other hackathons, and there's literally a policy hackathon every single weekend for like the rest of the year.
Well,
what if we do that? Replace the debate schedule.
I know what we're doing this summer.
I think I would actually die. Like, no cap. My body would just spontaneously combust. I could not handle it.
That's because you have a big issue with sleep.
Yeah, Scott. Thank you for that transition into this.
We should kind of talk about this. Noah's sleep schedule is a bit sketch, to say the least.
But it did help us with the hackathon.
That is true.
Yeah, it is true. Noah is actually like the definition of like opposite. Like
Look,
He's the definition
I'm
of
working
opposite. Yes.
I'm working on it. All right.
You're gonna go full
You
circle.
gotta break it down, right? Okay, so once upon a time, Noah went to bed at like 10, and he woke up at like a decent hour in the morning, like maybe like
Yeah,
7
I
or
feel like Noah used to be like a fairly like normal sleep
he
guy. Like,
did.
and then like even like more better than normal. Like he used to like prioritize like this is sleep.
Yeah, Noah really
Wow.
cared about his sleep. And
I would just get tired really
as
easily.
he evolved, Noah slowly started sleeping from 10 to 7. It just got delayed by a little bit, then 12 to like 9 or 10. And then as summer kicked in and as we were all quarantined at home, slowly became like 2 to 12. And you can see where this is going. And it reached all the way to the point where when all of us were awake, Noah was asleep, which is why you haven't seen an episode in a while.
This is
But
true.
beyond
All
that,
right, that's not the only reason. All
okay,
right,
it's a
we've had
variety of
What are
reasons, but it is one of them.
variety
It
reasons.
is one of
Okay.
them.
All right, fine. It's a contributing
And
factor.
it's now reached the full circle to where Noah has gone from 2 to 10 to the middle of the day where he's sleeping all the way back around from 12 p.m. to like what, like 8 p.m. and he'd sleep and he's come full circle and now he's back to
Uh,
sleeping at like 12. So a little bit more than full circle actually.
Okay, look, I mean, I'm working on it. All right. Uh, actually, like today, well, tonight, I'm going to like this like sleep institute, and they're gonna put like a bunch of like electrodes on me or some shit, and like basically figure out what the fuck is wrong with me because apparently like I have a very shitty sleep pattern, which is to say I don't have a sleep pattern.
Are you really though?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's like pretty OP. I actually did. I didn't do what you did, but I was on the other end of it, and I was working on a sleep study for a little bit, and we would like look at monitor people's sleep and determine like the different phases of sleep. So you have like you're awake for like 30 to 45 minutes on average when you sleep, and
Hmm.
you're only in deep sleep for like usually an hour-ish, hour and 30 minutes, depending on how long you sleep. This is like an 8-hour range. The majority of your sleep is like in light sleep, which like that's just like when you're kind of out of it, but you could easily be brought back to like consciousness.
You know,
Well, I mean, no, go
okay,
ahead.
apparently the general consensus on like the whole just like the circular sleep thing that Noah went through on Reddit, at least the general consensus was if you're trying to fix your sleep schedule, like instead of just like immediately the next day going and sleeping at an early time, like it'll completely just mess with you and it'll be bad. Apparently, the most efficient way to do it is if you're already so far gone, kind of like Noah. It's just best to go the full circle. Apparently,
Yeah.
like it's actually the healthiest way
Which
of
is
doing it,
completely
I mean, it
it's
works.
like a complete
which I think is a
But
little crazy. But you go ahead, Noah.
I'm gonna be real. All right, like okay, number one, um, I don't really have like a sleep schedule. I haven't gone to sleep and woken up at a consistent time in like weeks. Like one day I'll go to sleep at like 11 p.m. I wake up at like 5 a.m. Next day I'll go to sleep at like 3 p.m. and like wake up at like 10. And then there are like some days where I just straight up won't sleep, and like the next day I'll sleep for like 16 hours. It's kind of fucked. But like, anyways, what I was gonna say is like when Jacob mentioned that like you're only in deep sleep for like a couple hours a night. Like apparently there's like this whole sleep schedule that like revolves around that. Like the idea that like your body really technically only needs like a couple hours of like deep sleep to recharge. So basically it's called like the Uberman sleep schedule. And basically like every 2 hours you take a 15-minute nap and you do that for the whole day. So like across the entire day, you only get like 2 hours of sleep or something like that. But apparently, it's like enough to like recharge your body because like that 15 minutes is like solely deep sleep, right?
Yeah, but
But
You
apparently,
tried this?
I have not because apparently the side effect is like if you don't like get that like 15-minute nap every 2 hours, like you will get fucked like immediately. Like you know how like when you're like super sleep deprived, you just feel like complete shit. It's like that except like hyper accelerated. Like you don't get that 15-minute nap and you feel like you haven't slept in like days.
Oh,
Well, at least that's what I've read. So
it's
it's
probably
because it
better
takes like
just
a
to
while to
sleep.
get into deep sleep. You have to like go through REM and then light and then you go deep. It's like hard to go straight to deep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fascinating though. Like this idea that you only really need like a couple hours of sleep.
How would you even transition into that though? Like 2 hours and 15 minutes? Like, is it just like an immediate, like, one night you sleep normally and like the next day, every 2 hours you just start sleeping or
Well, apparently, like you're supposed to like stay awake for like 24 hours or something like that, so that like you're like super tired, right? And then like you have like somebody help you, so like basically like you're forced to do that like 15-minute like every 2 hour schedule,
Mm,
and eventually like your body adapts. But I don't know.
interesting.
I'm like it makes me think that like maybe like in the future, like when we all have like nano machines in our heads and like shit like that, like maybe like we would be able to like really cut down on sleep, just like cutting out all the stuff like light sleep and like when you're kind of basically awake while you're sleeping and just like get to that like good shit, that like deep sleep stuff.
Imagine like how far humanity could progress if we didn't need to sleep. If how
I
much we could
know,
achieve,
right?
right? Like I could actually be like a decent rank in league.
Honestly, like all that would happen is that we would just have like a lot more expectations heaped upon us. Like,
True,
our parents would be like, "You're 15. Why aren't you in Harvard yet?"
right?
And I'll be like, "I don't know."
That's actually wild to think about.
You know?
How many hours like a year do we sleep? Like how many days of our year of the 365 days in a year are just spent sleeping? Anyone know?
Well, you
I
s
feel like this has definitely been a
Something like
thing
the
well,
online.
third of the year, something
yeah.
like that.
You're supposed
Is
to
it?
be, like, sleeping you're supposed to sleep, like, in like, 8 hours a day, right? Well,
Yeah.
you're supposed to.
So
So,
that's
I
a
mean, like,
third,
assuming that,
yeah, a
yeah, it's like
third
a
of every
third.
day. So
Yeah. So, like, basically 120 days a year, 121
quick maths.
point
Wow,
something.
it's a lot of
Yeah. It's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
time.
days. A lot of, like, yeah, kinda
Imagine,
sucks.
bro, Pranay could be so much better at Valorant if
Tough.
he had the extra
Actually, I
120
haven't
days.
played
Look,
it.
Pranay doesn't even play Valorant when he's awake. Like,
Honestly,
like we're always like, "Hey, Pranay, you want to get on Valorant?" And he's like, "No, I was busy, but I'll play tomorrow." And like the next day, we'll be like, "Hey, you said you were gonna get on Valorant." It's like, "What? I never said that." Like Pranay's like literally trying to gaslight us into like not playing Valorant with him.
And for those of you that don't know, Valorant, I feel like we've talked about this before, but Valorant is a game brought to you by
No,
these
no,
small
we haven't made a podcast episode since Valorant came out.
true. Well,
It's kind of
Valorant is
sad.
a first person shooter CS:GO type game made by the small indie company known as Riot Games.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's like their fourth game or something, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
not still a small company.
I mean, they're pretty up and coming.
Yeah. So, uh,
they have some sort of.
Valorant, okay? The whole objective of this game is to plant a bomb. It's sort of like CS:GO if you know what that is. And then one side's trying to plant, one side is trying to defend and defuse, and it's a whole shebang. And Pranay's pretty bad at it. So that's the short summary. Is there anything else any of you want to elaborate on
I feel like
in terms
Noah would
of
have some interesting
Valorant?
insight on that.
All I'm gonna say is that I'm kind of addicted to it. Like, I actually play like way too much Valorant for my own
It's
good.
a bit part of the reason why Noah's sleep schedule is the way it is.
Okay, not really. All right, even
Really?
before Valorant came out, my sleep schedule was like
I mean,
completely
it didn't
like
help.
just destroyed.
Yo, that's because
I,
like
eh,
you were playing like Star Wars.
that's fair. That's fair.
Star Wars Battlefront.
It's like transitions between Star Wars
That's
and
very fair. Okay, but
every
like,
now and then you see the occasional Minecraft.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sometimes
Like,
there was one time when
Those
I remember we were trying to record an episode and on
videos.
Discord, which is like a messaging service sort of thing that like mainly gamers use, you can see what game like your friend is playing and for how long they've been playing it. So when we were trying to record this episode, it showed Noah and it showed that he'd been playing Star Wars Battlefront for 8 hours. And we were just like, "Can you
No,
please help us record
not.
this podcast?"
This is not healthy. First of all, second of all, we're gonna record.
okay, look, in my defense, I did not actually play it for 8 hours. I was playing it for like a few hours, and then I fell asleep while playing it.
Okay, Noah. Whatever you say.
Well, to be fair,
10
Pranay,
hours, couple of hours.
Renee, you
Yeah,
did fall asleep while we were playing
that
D&D
is
the other day,
that
so
is
All
I
right,
don't
yeah,
think you have
sure.
a
that
leg to
is
stand on here.
good.
Valorant, honestly, though, is a fun time. Like, I feel like it's kind of hit that sweet spot for me where it feels like it feels intense and kind of like a little bit hardcore, but like not too hardcore. Because there's games like Rainbow Six Siege and like even CS:GO where like the community is like super into it. Like CS:GO has been out for like a decade, right? Like if you're gonna play CS:GO, like you better be good because everybody else has been like practicing this game for like years. And like kind of similar with Rainbow Six Siege, just because like there's so much like competitive depth to it. Valorant is competitive, but in my opinion, it's like a little bit more casual than the other games that I've described. Because I like part of it is like the kind of aesthetic is like it's a little bit cartoonish, in terms of like how it's designed.
Still pretty
And
fun.
like I guess yeah, and part of it's just like kind of like the general attitude of the community seems to be like not super try hard yet. Like you'll run into like some toxic people, but not
I
super,
mean,
like not all the time.
isn't Rank coming out today or
Oh
tomorrow?
yeah, it's supposed to come out today, but
Yeah.
Honestly,
well, there's this.
I feel like the game is a lot more fun when you play with people you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know that's for every game.
That's
I
true.
Yeah,
think.
for every game. They're loads more fun when you play with
I mean,
people you
like,
know.
but still, you'll find some like you'll find some fun people just like randomly. Like Viswa and I were playing a game earlier where there so one of the characters in Valorant their name is Jet. So this person was playing Jet, and I guess they didn't have a mic because they were just using text chat. And they were a very nice person. They were just like, "Hey guys, I love you." We're like, "Aw, we love you too, Jet." And I was playing Sage, who's a character that's you're allowed to like resurrect your teammates. So like in Valorant, like normally each round, if you die, like that's it. You have one death, you're done. But Sage has the ability to resurrect people sometimes. So this guy was like, "Hey, Sage, can you res me?" And and so like finally I was like, sure, I'll resurrect you. So I res him. He comes back up and like he's like looking at me and like he's like nodding and I'm like, all right, Jed, go on then, go on, son, go off, pop off. There's one guy left. Go kill him. I believe in you. And he's like looking at me. He's nodding. He runs out to this door and you just hear the enemy team's raise just call
With a
out their
rocket
ultimate
launcher.
ability. Yeah, pull out a rocket launcher, say, "Here comes the pain," and you see Jed just explode immediately. And
It
it
was
was
so
tragic,
funny,
but
dude.
also
Oh
probably one
my
of the
god.
best experiences I've ever had in a game.
It was actually too good.
Honestly, like there are some gaming communities that are like super toxic, but I
Oh
think
yeah,
there's one community. I don't know. It's the game's not that big, but the community like there's like little to no toxic people in it at all.
Animal Crossing.
Minecraft.
No.
Animal
Yeah,
Crossing.
no. There's this
I
game
already said
called
Animal Crossing.
yeah. It's
I know. I was agreeing with you.
not Animal Crossing. I mean, I guess Animal
Oh,
Crossing too, but I don't have the game, so I wouldn't know.
Ethan.
But yeah, this game called Marvel Contest of Champions.
oh my god.
It's
Nice.
actually a pretty like skill based.
Jacob and Marvel, a
Yeah,
tale
it's actually like
of
a skill based
time.
game. It's definitely a skill based game. There's like a huge aspect of luck based on like the characters and stuff you get. But regardless of the game, the community is like everybody's trying to build each other up. There's no one there that's like trying to tear each other down. Like
Uh,
everybody.
Isn't that like
hold
basically
on. Let
just
me
like?
download it real quick. Time for the toxicity to come out.
Oh god.
All right,
What
go
have you
download
done,
it.
Jacob?
Go download it. I
What have you
guarantee
done,
you.
Jacob?
You talk in global and like ask them what characters to get and stuff like that. They'll give you good advice.
Yo, okay, so I don't know if you've heard of this game, but like there's a game called Star Citizen, and basically it's like a big like kind of like space MMO. Not really important though. Like so I was playing like they had like a free weekend a little while ago and I was playing, and dude, the global chat was wild. Like there was like just like this there was like this like some dude just talking about like how like education is communism like as soon as I get in. And I'm just like reading it like, what the fuck? Because like normally it's people like, hey, look at my cool ship, or hey, have you seen like that new planet? But no, this guy's just like, education is socialism. Teachers are trying to teach you communism. And then this other guy is like, no, education is good. You're stupid. You're bad. And this other guy's like, what are you, a communist? And then like more people are jumping in like, hey, you're a fascist. No, you're a communist. I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck is going on?
Those you're just like, I'm a racist.
Honestly,
What
Noah, I
like
feel
what
like
can
you
I
would have a
say?
lot to contribute to that discussion.
All I said
Honestly,
was
yeah.
all I'm gonna say, like if you genuinely believe that education is communism, I have a tip. Fail your test on the libs. You know, if you fail at education, all that means is that you failed at socialism, which is a good thing, right? 'Cause you shouldn't be socialist. Own the libs. Fail your education. Drop out of high school. Own the libs.
This is what Noah tells himself when he fails a test.
Yeah, it's like
that was just a socialist.
No,
This
Noah's
test,
never
that
failed a
last
test.
week,
Hello.
that
if
test
I
last
fail,
week.
yeah, no, I failed tests before, and yeah, every time I fail a test, I'm like, it's okay. I'm owning the libs. I'm owning the
No,
libs.
that was like math is communism and history is like capitalism.
Good old calculus BC.
Oh God, don't bring that back, man. Don't put that evil on me.
I remember your struggle in that class. I
Dude, okay.
it was crazy. Pretty much like every math class up until like because Noah and I have known each other since sixth grade, and we've been like taking pretty similar math classes every year. And Noah was like he always did better than me in math classes up until calculus, and then Noah just got bodied.
Oh my,
It
okay.
was so
Look,
funny.
like, okay, so like literally the first week, I get sick, and so I'm out when they're explaining like the most basic concepts in calculus, like derivatives, right? So I miss out on that, and I come back, and they're just like they don't even like give me a chance. They just throw me back in because like I had like Tabanian, who was like known for like her like she was like very strict. Like I wouldn't say she was necessarily unfair, but very
No, she
strict.
was straight. She was
And
such a good teacher. Hello, don't disrespect a mating like that.
okay, look,
Favorite
but like
teacher, NA.
literally, okay, every time we'd be out for a debate tournament, I would have to make up a test. She would just be like, "Yeah, come in tomorrow at like 8 a.m." And I'd be like, "All right, guess I gotta wake up at 7 a.m. right after a weekend where I woke up at like 6 o'clock both days to go like do debate for an entire day. I'm
Imagine
completely
doing that
exhausted."
now. With your current sleep schedule, imagine doing that
Um,
now.
Yeah, basically, but, like, that was back when my sleep schedule was, like, somewhat normal, so it was a bad time. But, yeah, so I had no idea what a derivative was, and, calculus is one of those things where it builds on, like, the previous concepts. For the rest of the year, I was struggling hard. Like, I remember on the actual calculus BC, like, AP exam, I did not finish any of the free response questions. I'll get, like, halfway through, I'll be like, "I don't remember any of this shit," or, "I remember us covering this, but I did not understand it." I'll just move on to the next question. Still got a 4, though.
The curve is insane on that
The
exam.
curve is, like it's literally like, it's like a fucking, like, quarter ramp, like, at the skate park.
It's
Yo,
insane.
no,
It's
it's okay. You own the libs.
it's alright, I own the libs. You're right. I'm owning the libs.
My god. Okay.
Like I I remember like after like school ended, I was looking for like a summer job and like they have like online tutoring jobs. And one of them was for like a calculus AB tutor. And I was like, "Hey, maybe I can do
No.
this. It's like calculus AB." And then they have like they have like a prerequisite test, right? Where like you have to take a test to like show that you know the concepts. I open up the test. First problem, I look at it, I'm like, "What am I doing? I can't do this." I close it down. I just forgot about it.
Uh, Classic Noah.
Yeah.
Forgets about lots of things. Like
It
extending our turns at Grapevine.
well, really? This is such a dead meme. You're like just bro, this horse is like literally it's not even dead anymore. You
It
beat it into the ground so
Yeah,
hard, it
well,
has
this
become
meme will
fertilizer
never
for
be
the
dead. It will never die. It's like
you
a
were just
phoenix.
beating the ground at this
it's a
point.
phoenix, no, it comes back from the ashes stronger every time.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
You're not
Oh
ready,
man.
Noah. It will never be forgotten. I had PTSD that night. No, I woke up sweating thinking about that round.
Oh my god. Okay, look. It's not my fault that you took debate too seriously.
You're just gonna
Yeah.
that was, I
What
was like,
did you say to me?
Yeah, you took debate way too seriously. And I'm not taking that back. Like
Bro, I'm
I
Viper right now, and my toxic meter is maxed out. I'm actually
okay, I remember at the Bel Air tournament, like Octos round, like after we lost that round, you stormed out. I literally remember like the end, like the other team, like their guys, they looked at me and they're like, "Is he gonna be okay?" I was like, Yeah, he's fine. He's just really salty. It's fine.
Round, dude. Look, one of the judges only ever voted F. The other judge didn't even speak English, and the one judge that voted for us was the only intelligent person in that room.
Okay, look, I remember that very well. It was bullshit, but still, you were very salty, a bit too salty. Hey, you live and you learn.
There's no such
You
thing
live and
as
you learn.
being a bit too salty. I have the
Okay,
appropriate amount of salt for every level.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I'm sure about that.
Okay.
You are like literally Dead Sea levels of salt.
You know what? I don't want to hear it. The only reason you get that far in the tournament is because of me.
I don't think you could maverick your way to that, but sure.
Okay,
Sure,
it
go ahead.
was a team effort that I pushed in one of those particular rounds with wind farm. You know what? We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. But do you remember whenever we took trips to like tournaments like Bel Air and stuff, we'd always stop at like Buc-ee's and
my
Check
God.
Stop, and dude, the food there,
Oh.
even though we got completely bullshitted that round, at least I got some Buc-ee's fudge, dude. Like,
No.
it could have been worse. It could have been worse.
You don't remember Bel Air after that, like our coach, like Holland, he took us out to like this like New York deli restaurant. I got the most legendary sandwich I've ever had in my life. Oh my God.
Where was this deli?
I don't know. It was like somewhere in Houston. It was like Katz's Deli. That's what.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Yeah. But like, okay, so basically, I remember like we hadn't eaten that entire day because like debate tournaments, like oftentimes you don't get to eat. Like you're just too busy. So like we hadn't eaten the whole day. And it was like 2 a.m. and we were at this restaurant. And I remember like the waiter like came up and I was like literally like, can you just point me towards like the most unhealthy thing on your menu? And like he like pointed out like the dessert section. I was like, no, I mean like for dinner. I want something that will give me like a triple heart bypass. I want something that will literally kill me right now. And he pointed this thing. I was like, I'll take it.
And no one took it.
And
I was there.
yeah, no, he shows up with this massive hoagie. It's just huge.
You should have seen
It's
the
like
looks Noah was getting
Oh
after
my
he
God.
ordered this. Oh
it was
my God.
It's like you think like it's not even like a foot long. It's like literally like a fucking meter long sub. And like this huge sandwich. And like it's just like I couldn't even see what was inside it because the entire thing was covered in melted cheese. Took a bite, turns out it was the good stuff. It was like, it was like pastrami, it was like prosciutto, it was like mushroom and like onion. Oh, so good. I ate that entire fucking sandwich right there. I'm pretty sure that thing had more mass in my entire body at that point. I fucking ate it anyways. I was like like when they have like those cartoon snakes and they eat the egg and you just like see the egg kind of like making a hump in the snake. That was fucking me that night. I ate the entire fucking sandwich. I'm still to this day. That is my singular proudest achievement. I will never top that.
Achievement. I thought it would be your best sandwich or something. It's like you've seen it.
Nah. It was the best sandwich I ever had though. Goddamn.
Dude, I remember when he ordered it, people from like other tables were like looking around, they were like looking back at us. They were just like they had just had this wide-eyed look at like Noah, and they were just watching Noah eat it. It was actually so funny. Me, on the other hand, I just got it was kind of surprising, but they had a vegetarian burger, dude. I was actually in shock.
You didn't have to eat just ketchup.
A lot of places have veggie burgers.
You know what? I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, they didn't just point you to the lawn out front.
I'm literally over it.
When you asked for the vegetarian menu, did they just not just like hand you a piece of grass and just like, here you go?
You know what? Don't discriminate, okay? The holy
Honestly,
animals of India eat grass for a living.
Honestly,
I don't want
this
to hear it.
always gets fucked. Always gets fucked because we like there are like no good vegetarian options.
Fast food restaurants, like it's he's just like, oh god,
Like
it's actually just ketchup. It's actually just ketchup.
I remember like at like Texas State or our junior year, they had like the only places to eat at the entire tournament for like 1,000 kids was like 2 food trucks out front, and neither of them were vegetarian. Like one of them was like this Texas BBQ thing.
Oh, yeah.
The other one was like a lobster roll place.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Yeah, and like half the kids that do debate in Texas are like Indian, right? And like a lot of those are vegetarians. So I don't know what they were thinking.
Yo, on that day,
Oh man,
he didn't eat that day.
No, they had fries. Okay, they had fries.
yeah, they had
I got a
fries.
couple of fries. I got like 2 things of
I
fries.
I remember the only time we had any like we actually like you actually ate something and you're like, wow, this is good vegetarian food was at P. Terry's. I remember you had that vegetarian burger and you're like,
Pete
wow, this is
Terry's,
good.
dude. Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude,
Oh
P.
my god. Oh my
P.
Dude,
Terry's.
I actually
Oh,
don't think I've ever been to Pete
Okay, it's in
Terry's.
what
Austin.
the fuck
You
are you
have
doing,
to
dude?
go after the world stops shitting itself because of Corona. You have to
Oh
go.
yeah.
You
Oh,
absolutely
P.
have to
Terry's.
go.
Like I don't
Wait,
know if it tasted better because I hadn't eaten anything that day, but like holy shit, that burger. Mm.
So good. The P. Terry's burger is
Oh,
so
so
good.
good.
The vegetarian burger was amazing.
So good.
The fries, they're like these thin, crisp fries. Oh my god.
Oh, the shake. I had like a root beer shake.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah. They have a caramel shake.
mm,
Ooh.
mm.
Okay.
Oh
I'm
my god.
looking at Pete Terry's right now. Let's search it up their thing.
Yo,
It
the
was
noises
it
that
was
we are
so
making
good.
this episode are
Like, I don't
Don't
care,
worry
all
about it,
right?
Cobb.
Pete
The
Terry's is
host
better
says it's
than Tex.
okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Like
Yeah, we've
straight
already
up.
rated this as mature rating, so I mean,
Yeah. You know what? Like
what?
it's not like there's like 5-year-olds like coming out here like listening to stating the obvious. If there are like
Don't stop listening.
yeah, stop listening,
No, wait,
kids.
don't stop listening. We need your views, your listens, your listen.
Okay, well, I mean,
What is
don't
it? What
don't
is it
repeat
listens?
look,
Listen what is
uh
yeah,
like
listeners?
YouTube videos
Listens,
have
yeah.
views, right?
I guess it would be listens.
Really?
it
This
streams.
place
It
Is
streams.
it streams?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's kinda
streams.
dumb.
Yeah. We need the
But
stream.
yeah, anyways, kids, don't repeat anything that you hear here to your parents unless you're like
Unless you're like
Confident.
appropriately
you know,
aged.
Unless you're confident in it, and then you can
Yeah.
it's really about how you present it versus
Honestly,
like
like I remember like when I first learned like curse words back in like 3rd grade, like I was like swearing like up and down, just like
Oh,
curse like all the time. All the time. Like every sentence. Like even more than now.
even more imagine.
surprising.
I mean
I
like
didn't think that was possible.
I mean like I swear like all the fucking time like right now, but like oh my god, when I was younger, holy shit. I swear all the fucking time.
Okay. With that being said,
But anyways, what were we talking about?
food.
Oh yeah.
And all the P. Terry's especially. I feel like
Oh
look, if you haven't had P. Terry's, just go to Austin whenever you get the chance and get yourself some P. Terry's.
is
I
there not
promise you won't regret it. And the aesthetic of the place is also really nice.
on point. Holy shit.
It's like a Miami Vice kind of aesthetic, actually, a little
Honestly,
bit.
not
A
really. Not,
little bit.
I would say it's more like 50. It's like The Incredibles. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
buildings in The Incredibles. It's that aesthetic.
Mhm.
It's like super like
It
Art
looks like they're
Deco.
sort of yeah, Art Deco kind of diner situation.
Yeah. Oh man, it's hype. It's actually hype.
Cool aesthetic. There's like a sand pit out front. I don't know, it's like a playground.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just hype, dude.
You go to like any other burger place, you're like, I'm gonna have some burgers. You go to Peter's, you're like, I'm having some fucking burgers
Some
right now.
vegetarian burgers, dude.
Oh
Is this
yeah.
real life?
Hell yeah. That's fucking burgers. Holy
I had
shit.
some ketchup as well.
That was like my one regret about like not going to UT. Like that was my one regret,
The
the fact that
food.
I would never get to experience
It's
P-Terry's
just
on a
the
regular
food in
basis.
general, like the
Oh
food in
yeah.
Austin, Texas.
yeah, bro. Yeah, the food in
Like
Austin, man. Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna be real with you, DC food scene kinda lacking.
I can imagine. I can't imagine.
Like
They
I
No, the
remember
problem with DC is it's just overprices, like
oh yeah,
after
that.
mall.
No, okay, so they have like this grilled cheese place in DC, like right around where my college is. It's like it's just GCDC, grilled cheese DC. Like it's supposed to be like some trendy things, only serves like grilled cheese sandwiches. That would be good, right? Because like grilled cheese sandwiches, how do you go wrong with that? And
Yeah.
like to be fair, the grilled cheese sandwiches, they're all right. The prices though, were not all right. It was like $15 for like a regular fucking grilled cheese. It was insane. Like goddamn.
It's that politician kind of money, my dude.
Oh yeah, I mean like minimum wage in DC is like $15, but holy shit,
Look,
you need those $15.
you gotta add like the amount a regular grilled cheese would cost, plus like the taxpayer money that all the politicians are getting, and then you have the rough price of all the food price in DC.
Ugh,
It's actually insane. When I went there, I was like, "This is really stupid."
so expensive.
So
So
some of it
expensive.
isn't bad. It's not like they have terrible places or anything, but
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like shit, right? But like it's not as good as like Austin.
Austin, you'll get stuff for
Oh,
so cheap. It's so good, and
I
you'll
want
get
to go.
everything with
I
everything.
want to take one trip to Austin one day. Not one day, for just like a week, and just like
eat,
Eat.
camp, just eat, just like
just
camp around
eat.
at
Oh
all the
yeah.
places, and just like go to
All right.
every single
Uh,
OP local
okay,
place. And
after the entire situation is over and we find a vaccine, hopefully, maybe one day,
Uh,
we all gotta go to Austin on a road trip.
road trip, motherfuckers.
I've
We got to stop off at Czech Stop along the way. Holy shit, Czech Stop's kolaches on
Mm,
point.
Oh, the
oh
cinnamon
yeah.
Oh,
twist, Noah, the
Did we
cinnamon
stop there
twist.
one time?
oh, cinnamon. No, no, no. You get the cinnamon twist. You get like the cherry kolaches. You get like all the fruit kolaches. You get the cream
You
cheese
can also
kolaches.
get some Chester's, like the Cheetos, dude. I've
Oh,
No one knows the tale between me and Cheetos,
oh yeah, no.
Chester's, the
Like
flaming
I'm
hot.
90% like if this one ever marries, his wife's gonna have to share him with Chester.
Yeah.
Ew.
The
Like his wife's gonna have to share him
look,
with Chester the
the
Cheetah.
flamin' hot situation with, like, Cheetos and Chester's, just the flamin' hot brand is yum. That's all I gotta say. Yum.
But oh my god, those kolaches, dude. Those kolaches.
Yeah, okay, well,
Ugh.
What is describe a kolache now? Like I don't
Wait,
it's
wait.
necessarily.
baked.
You've never had them? Wait, no, you've come with the
No,
You've
we've
definitely
definitely had them. We've
Ye
definitely
May
had them.
you've
Okay,
definitely
yeah,
come
yeah,
to
yeah,
Tech
yeah, yeah,
Shop
yeah.
as a
Okay,
part of
look,
debate
look,
time.
kolaches are like the most heavenly thing. They're all the richness and like just like the unhealthy goodness of a donut with all like the flavorful like like the jellies and like the
The
cream cheese
fillings, yeah.
and like the like just like the light puffy airiness of a pastry. It is single-handedly the greatest thing Europe has ever produced. The kolache. Like I'm telling you right now, the Industrial Revolution, shit. Gutenberg's printing press, shit. The Enlightenment, shit. Kolaches, tight as fuck.
I'm looking up kolaches right now. There's like sausage kolaches too. I've
Oh
never.
yeah.
The
Oh my god.
There's so
I
much
I
you
got
can
those.
do with
Oh my
them,
god.
dude, it's
I know.
insane.
Like I got the savory kolaches for lunch, the sweet kolaches for dessert
Yeah, dude.
after lunch.
I
Oh my
remember
god.
when it was just me, you, and Holly going for, the
Oh
policy
yeah.
thing, and we stopped
Oh
there.
yeah.
Noah walked out of that store with, like, an entire bag of kolaches, dude. You would
Nah,
think there
man.
isn't any food in Austin by the way Noah was buying
Nah, man.
kolaches.
Like, okay, look, the first time I ever went to Czech Stop was actually for on like a German trip.
Oh,
Cause like
really?
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. There's
German
like
steak competition.
yeah, yeah, like there's like competitive like German competitions like in Texas. Just cause like I guess like so many Germans moved there, so like it's got like a pretty strong German identity. But like on the way we stopped at Czech Stop, right? And I only got like it was like my first time, right? So I was like, I'll try the kolaches. I got like two. I was like, that's enough. I don't want to spend too much on like kolaches. And then like I ate them. I was like, what the fuck did I just do to myself? I only got two.
And
What have I done?
then he spent the next rest of the trip just like in shock.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah,
And like every trip after that, I never made that mistake again.
a trip to Austin definitely has its advantages. You stop at Jack
I
Stop,
want to go.
you stop
It's
at,
like
Oh,
Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's was
oh
always
yeah,
kind of just it's like a fun kind of just place to go to, like, just
I
the
guess
oh
just
yeah,
like a cool
aesthetic.
place. Like like yeah, it's just the honestly, it's just the aesthetic. I mean, they do have very nice apple
oh
pie.
yeah,
Like, they have like these apple pie like things that they're only like I forgot how much they are, but they're so inexpensive, bro. Oh my
oh
god,
yeah.
and they're
No,
so good.
no, you know they have like those like squeaky animal bins.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I actually got like one of
yeah,
I
yeah.
got one of the squeaky unicorns,
Oh god.
and I wrote one of my college application essays about it.
What which
Like
oh,
William and Mary, they were like, "Hey, give us
they
like an
accepted
essay
you,
about like something weird." And I was like, "Fuck, what's something weird?" I'm like looking around like frantically, like literally this is like me in my room, like looking around. And I just like see this like squeaky unicorn. I'm like, oh, "That's kind of weird." I wrote an entire 600-word essay about the squeaky unicorn. It was so stupid.
Did you get in?
I got accepted.
Yeah, easy. That's what we like to see, big dubs.
Big dubs.
I mean, but, like,
Um,
while the food in Austin is pretty god tier, I mean, the food in Dallas isn't, like, bad. Like,
We
Dallas
actually
food
have
is We
we
have
have very good
variety.
like
Oh
Asian.
yeah, we got a lot of restaurants around here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Yeah,
Like,
the just
like
the like style, I guess, is different. Like the price range is definitely different. Like the upper class, like more formal dining is far better in Dallas than Austin. Like
yeah,
far better. Like the
that's actually for sure.
steakhouses, the top level seafood, stuff like that.
I mean,
Way better in
Austin's
I
more
have
about
Dallas.
that like kind of like trendy, that kind of like avant-garde shit. You know, it's for the
and
college
But, like,
students.
Austin has like has that sort of like crazy
it's a
vibe, you know? Like
Yeah.
hipster. It's
it's
a
like Austin,
hipster,
the
like
weird hip.
Oh, you know how
yeah.
they say keep Austin weird. Yeah, keep Austin weird.
No, but, like, if
The
you go to, like,
formal
Legacy
places in
West
Austin like aren't as good.
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, but
No, but
I
literally,
would
like,
agree
a
with that.
singular trip to Legacy West here in, like,
Oh
the Dallas
yeah.
area, you see, like, the high life sort of dining. Even, like,
Could you
the
imagine living in Legacy West?
I went there once. I just see a casual Rolls Royce just walking
Oh,
around. And I
what
was
the hell, yeah.
like,
I mean, like, you know that, like, when, like, the main, like, car dealership in your area is a Tesla dealership, then, yeah, that's some pretty high class
Yeah,
shit.
we like walked by that Tesla once because it's like in the middle of a strip mall. There's like restaurants everywhere. It's not like
yeah, it's
it's
literally
like a
opposite to
showroom,
Shake
right?
Shack. It's
Yeah,
literally opposite of Shake Shack.
it's like a showroom kind of thing. And we
More on
walked
Shake
by
Shack
it.
later. More on Shake
Yeah,
Shack later.
we walked by it and we were like, oh, yo, this is like such bad placement. Like, who actually buys a Tesla from like this place? It's like out in the middle of like a restaurant area, right? And so this Tesla employee walks out. He's like, "You'd be surprised, man. There's so many people who buy Teslas from us." Like, yeah, I guess like so one day I'm just eating my burger at Shake Shack. I see the Tesla sign. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a car today.
I mean, to be fair, like, if I had to buy a car, like, I would definitely, like, I would like to
I
drive a
mean,
Tesla.
if you have the
I feel
money
like my dream car is just like a Tesla. Just like a Tesla is like a dream car usually are like very, very expensive, but I think like a Tesla delivers on stuff like
it's
even
honestly,
without
like, a bit
Yeah.
reasonable. Like, my dream car is like a
like
LaFerrari, but, like, no. Like, that's
like
econ
like
inefficient.
yeah. Tesla's electric first of all, it accelerates like
Oh,
fairly
yeah.
very nicely. The audio is like OP. The fucking AC, bro, the AC system literally has like a 3D model of like where the airflow goes, and you can like adjust by tapping on the airflows and like adjusting the airflows to where exactly you want the AC to
Honestly,
go.
like, I feel like if Tesla can get their Model 3 production up, it would actually be kinda reasonable. Like, I think that's, like, the main bottleneck, the fact that, like,
I mean,
they're
Musk wants it to be like a very, very affordable
Have
car.
you guys
yeah, I
actually
mean
seen those videos of, like, Teslas? Like, they have cameras on the outside, and, like, there's this video of someone keying a Tesla for, like, whatever reason. That is such a a-hole move to do, but
yeah,
this
I
woman
know.
keyed a Tesla, but the Tesla actually had, like has, like, a camera built in, and it got a video of her, and she was later arrested. It's actually, like even the
Yeah,
security on it is
it
really good.
has
Yeah.
very, like, very
Ton of features.
interesting.
Ton of features.
Honestly, you know what I don't get is like people being angry at other people for like trying to help out society. Like I feel like if it wasn't like a personal reason for like that woman like keying the Tesla, it was probably just because she like hates electrical vehicles and like hates like doing stuff to help the environment,
No,
which like I
I think
straight up
that's
don't
it. No, I just
I
think
don't think that's it.
she's like angry that she couldn't afford a car like that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
maybe.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
I
like,
think that
"Oh,
has nothing
you're
to do
doing
with
something
like
good for the
electrical.
environment." No,
But
for
like
you, it's not that.
you know like but I mean like you know like there's been like a lot of people recently where like you see like videos of people getting like super angry at people like wearing masks outside like trying to like pull off people's masks, which is like obviously an a-hole move, but like I straight up don't get it, right? Because like even if somebody else is wearing a mask, it's not like they're forcing you to wear a mask. Like forcing them not to wear a mask is honestly the shittiest thing that you could do in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, but when it comes to, like, the Tesla situation, it's just, like, people are jealous, that they can't have a car like that, and they don't want other people to, like, enjoy that sort of thing, which
It's
is
like the mentality like if I can't have it, no one can.
yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
but they still get caught, like, you'll there this has happened several times with Teslas, like, people keying
Yeah.
them, and, like, several times people have been caught because of the security on the Tesla, which I think's pretty cool.
I saw a video one time on Reddit of a woman trying to figure out how to refill the gas tank on her Tesla. It was
Honestly
really funny.
What the heck?
She was like walking around the car. She was like opening her trunk. She was like holding like like the gas nozzle. Like, what the fuck do I do with this?
honestly, I feel like that happens more than you think it does. Like, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure that
I
woman
can
isn't the
imagine.
only case of that happening.
That's a sad thing though. Like,
Okay, like
Like if
something
I had a
not
Tesla
so
now,
obvious. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but, like, the SAT score, the average SAT score in the United
Oh,
States
yeah.
is, like, 900 or, like, 1,000 or something.
No, it's like
Or,
700.
like
Like 1,000 puts you in top 90%
oh, yeah, yeah, it was 1,000 puts you in top 90%, which is, like
or something like
or
that.
the 90th percentile, right?
no, 1,600 or the 2,400.
I'm talking about the
Uh
1,600 scale.
Okay.
Oh, no, no,
Or
no,
wait,
not 1,000. It's like 1,300. 1,300 puts you in like top 10%. I think you're right. Like 1,000 is top, like, is the average.
yeah, 900 or 1,000 is the average, which it's a little wild. But, like, I remember, when I was taking my SATs, I was in, like, the room, and there was this other dude next to me, and, like, he clearly didn't care, like, he forgot his calculator, he was like, "Whatever, dude." But he was, like, hyped because on his last SAT, he got, like, a 720 or something, and I was just like,
Damn.
"Hello?
Yeah, what the heck?
Hello?"
I mean, like, I don't want to be like elitist or anything, but like, it's kind of sad. It's like really sad.
I
Like,
don't
I
think
mean,
it's
I don't
I
know,
don't think it's
man.
fair.
elitist because I just think people aren't like trying or like applying
I mean
themselves because it's like it's not incredibly difficult. Like I think
Yeah.
if people like spent the time on it, like they could do it. Like obviously, like there may be some factors why they can't, but like I think the majority of people have the time. They just choose not to.
Like honestly, like I feel like America is like has like such a big like anti-intellectualism problem. Like the fact that like saying like no, someone's like a nerd was like a pretty big insult for a while is like kind of sad. It's like
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, when
like
you
calling somebody
compare,
an
like, the United States, like, the education level compared to, like, other, like, some European countries and stuff, like, what is the one, like, super OP? Is it Finland? Where, like, their
yeah,
education's
Finland.
insane?
Yeah,
Finland,
Finland.
Yeah.
all the Swedish, all this like
Not all the
Yeah, like
Swedish,
just
all the
like
Scandinavian.
yeah, just like the Nordic countries. They got unlocked.
Yeah, their education systems are insane.
But
I mean,
Insane.
at the same time,
yeah.
all of like the world's like major advancements are coming out of the U.S.
Well, that's because we have all the money.
That's
yeah,
true
Not
they all
too.
necessarily
That's true
all
too.
come
That's part of
No.
it. But I also think like a lot of smart people are attracted to the U.S.
Yes,
well, I mean, like,
smart people come to the US because there's the opportunity for them to, like, make something out of their intelligence, but it's like
yeah,
they're not becoming intelligent by being in the US, or, like,
like,
obviously, there are
not
people, right, like, that are smart and, like, they study super hard and they do well, but, like, a lot of people come to the US because they're smart and they can do well. I don't know.
and, like, not to discount, like, the efforts of, like, teachers and professors, but,
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like a lot of America's, like, higher education system, because like, our university system is, like, known as, like, the world's best, right? Like, I feel like a lot of that is honestly kind of coasting on reputation. Because, I mean, you look at, like, Harvard or, like, Yale or whatever, and, like, honestly, I kinda question, like, how much of it is, like, because the actual, like, the quality of, like, the actual, like, school itself, and how much of it is just because, like, everyone knows that people who go to Harvard are smart, so all the smart people will go to Harvard, so,
yeah,
like,
it's like a
Harvard's
self-fulfilling prophecy sorta,
yeah, it's just,
right?
like, this, like,
Like
self-perpetuating thing.
the concept is, people who have a degree from Harvard are super, super smart and they're super good at what they do. So then people go to Harvard because then that gives them the degree to make it smart, even though, like, it's just like a name, right?
Yeah, but
Sort of
at the
Yeah.
same
attached to
time,
your
if they're at the end of the day, like if they're becoming smart, does it really matter?
Well, I mean, like, that's the thing, right? Like, the question is, like, are these smart people going to Harvard
yeah,
to, like,
or
get, like, a lot smarter, or are they just going to hang out with other smart people?
Like
I mean,
either way, all the people are getting smarter, right?
yeah, but, like, it's kind of like a I mean, yeah, like, everybody's getting smarter, like, it's very rare that people get, like, actively dumber, but it's, like, the rate at which they get smarter, right? Because like, I would, like, very much value a college that can take, like, a really dumb person and make them, like, pretty smart, rather than, like, a college that would take, like, a pretty smart person and make them, like, I don't know, like, slightly smarter.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that Noah makes a good point generally, just because, like, let's say you're like applying for an internship at Google or something, right? Uh, if it says like you go to Stanford or something, you have honestly a better chance of getting that internship, and
Yeah.
that's like just the truth, right? And it's just because you go to Stanford, and like, is the reason that you and then you get that internship, right? So because you went to Stanford, now you have this internship, and then in the future you're more employable, and that's because you're from Stanford, which helps increase the reputation of Stanford, and it's like a cycle that continues and just helps keep the reputation of all like the super top schools in the United States. But I don't know why education can't be as good as in like other countries?
I'm gonna be real. I think a lot of it is because a okay, not to get political. Well, to get political. Fuck yeah, I'm getting political. I think Republicans don't want people to be smarter. They bank a lot on people being dumb, but also just because like Americans in general don't like smart people. It's kind of sad. I mean, like we have this whole thing where people are like, "Oh my god, Bill Gates is going to like inject like chips into our like brains or something with like vaccines," or like, "Oh my god, like Anthony Fauci is like trying to undermine Trump." And like,
Oh, vaccines? No, you
oh
wanna
yeah,
throw in a line about that?
do
Literally.
I?
I mean, like, people are like, "Oh, I'm not gonna vaccinate my child," the
Yeah,
government
anti-vaxxers are
it's
straight up some of the dumbest people on this planet. And quite frankly, if it weren't for the children, I would say they all deserve to die. But
Okay.
whatever.
A little
I
extreme there,
mean,
Noah.
look, man. You know as well as I do that herd immunity is critical to preventing disease. These people
Yeah.
are straight up like they don't give a shit about other people. They only care about themselves, and even then, they're basically hurting
how
themselves.
like,
They're
yeah,
honestly
then
really dumb.
how are they caring about themselves? It doesn't make
Like
sense.
under any Darwinian system, like they they would have died out a long time ago. It's only by virtue of the fact that we've gotten so far that like the laws of like the basic laws of natural selection basically don't apply to us. That like people like anti-vaxxers can continue to exist.
It is true. And, on that kinda depressing note, why don't we talk about something a little bit happier? Old cartoons. We can get back on schedule
That
here.
is indeed a bit a lot happier.
I know you just said that like these are happier, but like this just immediately brought me back to like this time in American Studies where they showed us this old Bugs Bunny cartoon. And it was like really, really like racist. Like it was like Bugs Bunny, like he was like some like Union soldier, right? Like out
Okay.
on the frontier, like the 1800s, and like just see him like shooting off like screen, and he's just like one little, two little, three little Indians. He's like making like little
Oh,
tallies,
okay.
and then he erases like half of one tally. It's like, oh, that one was a half breed. Like I remember exactly that line.
Oh
The
my
entire class was like,
okay,
oh,
okay.
oh
I
no.
was thinking more Tom and Jerry, cat
Yeah, I
chases
know, but still, that was
mouse,
like
mouse retaliates sort of
that was like the
situation.
first thing that came to my mind, though. I'm
With
sorry.
Tom and Jerry, there's this theory that Tom actually likes Jerry so much that he only pretends to chase him and pretends to try and legitimately catch him so that the owner, whose face like we never see, doesn't get a new cat that actually kills Jerry. So Tom is doing all he can to keep Jerry alive.
I
Tom's a
buy it.
good friend.
I buy it.
Tom's a
What do
real
you say?
Have
homie.
you seen the
Tom's
Tom
a
and
real
Jerry
homie.
movie? It's actually kinda hype. It's a
There's a
whole racing
movie?
thing, yeah. It was, like, newer animation and stuff. It wasn't, like, the older Tom and Jerry style, but I don't know, it was interesting. I enjoyed it. I mean, when I was younger, I
Tom and
enjoyed it.
Jerry.
It's not like I watch Tom and Jerry right now.
Yo,
Sarcasm.
there's that. Yo, Tom is get it. Watch rewatching old cartoons is like you get a different perspective when you're older.
Yeah, when you're
Huh?
younger, you're always rooting for
I hope
Jerry.
so.
But, like,
I'm gonna be
honestly, when you
real.
grow up, you're kinda like, "Yo,
I'm
You're
gonna
Tom."
just
be real.
like, bro, Tom has to do
You
something
feel for
eventually.
Tom a
Yo,
little
that's like
bit.
the
Yeah.
same thing. You relate like with SpongeBob. You relate so much more to Squidward when you're
Yeah, because
developed.
like Squirtle, he's like a sensible man, right? He's not
Sensical
like
tentacle?
I never actually watched like a full episode of SpongeBob.
Ow.
My parents wouldn't let me.
Alright, I remember you
Yeah,
telling me about
like
that.
okay, so like when I was a kid, like my parents wouldn't allow me to
it's just
watch
too
like
inappropriate.
kids movies. No, it's not inappropriate. They just thought it was stupid. Like I
Okay,
didn't
that
get to
makes more
watch like
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Teletubbies
They,
or
they didn't like
SpongeBob.
let him watch SpongeBob and stuff, but then they said, "Oh, World War II documentary, put that on."
Okay, like honestly, that wasn't my parents. That was my grandpa. Like my grandpa's like super into like military history, and he just kind of like passed that on to me. So yeah, like my childhood memories are not like watching SpongeBob on like and stuff like that. It's like watching like dogfight squadrons of World War II and like the History Channel miniseries on the USS Enterprise. Yo, that
What?
miniseries
I
was hype,
remember the
hype as hell.
first time I met Noah, or, like, we were in the same science class in 6th grade, and I don't know why, but Noah was speaking really loudly at his, like, table, and we weren't at the same table or anything, but Noah, like, he pretty much just yelled his address and his exact apartment, and I overheard it, and I was like, "Wait, what the frick? I live right next to you."
No. I remember the context. It was because our science teacher was like talking about how she always likes to go for bargains. No, she's like, "Yeah, I'm like a bargain hunter." And we're all like, "Yo, there's like this like Walgreens on this corner," and they always no, it wasn't Walgreens, it was like CVS, right?
Y
Like the CVS
yeah,
is the
yeah,
one
yeah.
on the corner, like next to our apartment. She was like, and
No, it was
we're like,
Walgreens, it
"Yo,"
was Walgreens.
honestly, I can't tell the
It's
difference. I'm gonna be
Walgreens,
real
no,
with
it's
you.
Walgreens.
It's Walgreens. It's Walgreens. Like they're basically the same shop.
Okay, fair enough.
But anyway, so we were like, yo, like they have this like back to school sale. You get like 3 binders for like $1. She was like, wow, that's really cool. Where is it? And like, I was like, yo, it's like right next to my apartment complex. Like, no, I live like in like McDermott Place, and like I remember
You
like
gave
after
your
that, like
exact apartment number too, Noah. I don't know
I
why.
did.
Yeah, that's how I knew you lived right next to me.
Yeah, I believe you. I totally believe you. And like I remember after we kind of settled down, like Visco came over. He's like, yo, you live in like blah blah blah, like the
Look,
apartment
no, so
number, and
here's the
like
full context of what happened, right? So I knew
yeah,
Noah lived opposite me, but the only time I ever talked to him was like, "Whoa, I live right next to you in that science class," and that was the end of our
yeah,
conversation
yeah, yeah. Well,
because
that was in that
we're
science
both
That
class.
sixth
was
graders,
it.
so we don't really know what we're doing at all. But that day the power went out. Oh, and the entire
No,
apartment
was it that
complex.
day, or I think it was a little bit later.
No, that was the day. Because I
Wait,
was like,
literally that
I
day?
told my mom that there's this dude in my science class that lived right next to me, and when the power went out, my mom was like, "Oh, we should go, see if the neighbors' powers are out, and, meet the neighbors. You even know the kid over there." So I didn't want to go because I was like a shy sixth grader. I was like, "What the frick? What is this, mom?" And she was like dragging me. She like took me by. She's like, "We're going." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. So, we walked across, and I rang the doorbell. I was literally hiding behind my mom, and then Noah's mom came out to the door, and then they had a whole
Yeah.
conversation, and then Noah's mom sent Noah out to talk to me, and we walked around, and Noah told me about North Korea, South Korea, and the whole conflict situation there while the
What
power
the
went
hell?
out, and that was the first conversation we had.
Oh, wait, no, before that, we did talk about something else. We talked about pocket
We talked
planes.
about
I remember that. We were super into pocket planes back then.
Yeah, it was basically this game on your phone, this app where you basically buy airports and you just get flights going from one place to another. You literally just run airports. It's so stupid, but it's
And I
so much
remember
fun.
and, like, the thing is, for, like, pocket like, when you send, like, planes out on flights, like, you have to, like, wait in, like, real time for, like, the plane to get to its destination, and, like, this was, like, "Hey, you can, like, alter, like, the time on your phone, and, like, you can get, like, the planes to their destination because like, it runs off of, like, your phone time," and so he was, like, showing me, I was like, "Oh, shit, like, I can, like, get all my planes to their destinations immediately instead of waiting," and it was, like, I don't know, it's like cheat codes and shit, man.
Yeah, it's so cringe. Oh my god. But yeah, we played Pocket Planes, and then Noah told me about the Korean conflict, the Korean War, and then we made our way back, and then we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
Uh,
Start of a legendary partnership.
That's an interesting first encounter, to say the
It
least.
was an interesting first encounter. Honestly, looking back, I have no idea why we were friends. Like,
Pocket Planes,
personality-wise,
Pocket
the
Planes.
pocket
It's
planes.
literally
Pocket
Pocket Planes.
places, why?
Pocket planes and video games. Video games were the glue of our friendship. Like, I
Fair.
remember we played so many video games. We played, like, Galaxy on Fire. We
Titanfall.
played, like, Pocket Edition of Minecraft.
Yes.
We played, like, on your Wii, like, we played, like, Lego Pirates of the
Oh,
Caribbean.
dude, the Lego games. Can we talk about the Lego games?
Oh my
Those
god,
are
the
actually
mini Lego
such
games.
good games.
They're all the same though. After
I don't wanna
I
hear it,
mean, yeah,
I
but,
don't wanna
like,
hear it.
honestly,
I had a Lego Star Wars on the Wii. I know I had that.
I had, like, Lego Avengers, and you could, like, legit fly around New York as Iron Man.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
can you do that in any other Avengers game? No, not really.
I
I
remember
think
we
in the
played
new
that.
one you can.
Yeah, but, like, that's
Okay, well,
what,
the
like
new ones are like 10 years later.
yeah, I know,
So,
right?
Okay,
This is a
fair enough.
Lego
Legit.
Fair
game.
enough. Yeah, you can't do it as a Lego guy, so
Also,
that's
can we talk about how good the purple coins were, dude, in the Lego games?
Oh,
Aw,
yeah.
dude,
yeah,
when you
bro.
saw that
The
purple
coins
coin?
didn't matter as long as you got those like red bricks that like got your multiplier up to like 3,000, like 800. Like you could get one of those silver coins and you have like $1 billion.
Look, purple coins, they still look nice. They were shiny. Okay, I don't wanna hear it. Had enough. But yeah, the Lego games were really good. I don't know. We played it on the
Yeah.
Wii.
I remember I played Lego Star Wars on my, grandpa's computer back in California. This was, like, back when we were, like, 6 or 7. And, like, my grandparents had, like, dial-up internet. So, like, legit, like, their computer took an hour to start up. like you would just turn it on and you just hear that like and like I would go like legit I would just go like make myself a sandwich like while the computer's turning itself on.
Honestly, I still do that with my old laptop.
Really?
You know, the one I used to play, the one I used to have in high school. Like if you turn it off, it's a straight. Like I've timed it. It's a 20-minute turn on, turn off kind of thing.
Yeah, but like
so, I put it there. I just go do something else, and yeah.
Yeah, but like basically I'll play like Lego Star Wars and that. I was really bad because like I was like a stupid little kid. And like I remember there was like this one episode like this one level I got stuck on and like legit like it was just like me playing as Jar Jar Binks just dying over.
Yeah, I remember in the Lego games like
over again.
Jar Jar Binks, he could like jump so high.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
I
triple jump,
mean like
double
regardless,
jump.
I would just die. Like legit, it's still like seared in my memory. Just like the sound of Jar Jar like Lego Jar Jar Binks falling and dying, and like you know that like little like plastic sound like when they break apart when they die.
Yeah, and that, like the whole body like straight up comes apart when they die.
Feels bad, man.
Honestly, I think the Lego Avengers games are probably the best ones though. Like I had the best time playing them.
You just say that because you like Marvel.
I also like flying around. Like you can't fly around in like any of the
I
other
also
games.
like flying around. It's pretty cool. I will not lie.
Thank you for your input.
Is there any other like Lego game where you can just like fly around?
No, I think it's just the Avengers one, maybe. Wait, I mean, I don't know actually.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Maybe in Star Wars you could do some force flying.
Oh, you have like starfighters. You can fly them around Star Wars.
Okay,
you know what's
funny
is anyone listening to this podcast must think that we have never seen like a girl in our lives. We're only talking about Lego. Like
you have never known the touch of a woman.
They have cooties.
No
one likes that.
I mean, girls straight up like they don't exist. They're an urban legend.
Yeah, are they even real?
Yeah. No, man.
Yeah, I know. I've heard you've seen one.
I've
like
heard
once upon a time.
No. It was a government.
Like I've heard those songs. Jith has sung them before.
They're lies. All lies.
Oh shit. Oh.
Girls don't exist. If you think you see a girl, you're wrong.
Yo, if you think you see a girl, I bet you it's the liberal education.
Oh yeah, it's socialist propaganda, man. They want you to think that there are women in the world because communism or some shit. I don't know.
Gender equality. But how can there be gender equality if there isn't?
There's only one gender.
Oh my god. Controversy. Oh my god.
Massive brain. Somebody get Ben Shapiro on the line.
Yeah. The title of this podcast is just gonna be like, "We are all Republican hillbillies" or something.
I really hope.
And like
not.
you know, fellas, people say that like like all these liberals who are saying like we need to have like LGBT equality. Well, how can you have other sexualities if there's only one gender?
Exactly.
When look, man, if being gay is straight, there's no such thing as being gay.
Yeah. I mean, if the only gender there is man, and you only like man, then you can only like man.
This is not where this segment was supposed to go.
Okay, that's true.
That's fair.
Like, you should know by now.
In middle school, we played lots of Lego games. We played Pocket Blade. Okay?
This is the gist of what we were trying to say.
But in 8th grade, Noah's life forever changed.
You did?
Was it 8th grade?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I remember, dude. I remember getting this phone call from Noah.
Oh
the
my
most
god.
panicked Noah I've ever heard. Noah doesn't really panic that often, right? But I get a phone call from Noah. He's panicking, dude. He's like stressing. Like it's insane. I've never heard Noah like this. And I'm like, Noah, what's up? Like what's going on? And Noah's like, dude, this girl, she told me she liked me.
Oh shit.
Okay. Look.
Oh no.
Here's the thing.
There are no girls though. What is this?
I don't think I've ever told you guys this part of the story though.
Well, let me hash out like the what happened throughout that entire situation, or is the part that you're sharing relevant, or does it come out?
So let me give you like this is this is like the background.
Okay, yeah.
This is like the deep lore that you guys aren't aware of. This is the deep lore.
Okay, let's hear it.
But anyways, so basically at that time, I was talking to basically 2 girls.
Ooh.
I won't say their names, but like 2 girls.
Okay.
And like we were like friends, right? And
Use
so
the
like
code
I was
names.
like,
Use the code names.
we didn't have code names, or
Make
if we
'em.
did, I don't fucking remember.
Okay, well,
Just make them now.
one was strawberry.
I call the first person.
I'm not calling one of the girls Strawberry. That sounds like a hooker name.
Look, we just do like
Who's to
food
say
and
they
like
weren't a hooker?
We were in 8th grade, Pranay. Get your mind out of the gutter. What the fuck is wrong with you?
police. We got
Like,
him.
holy
We
shit,
got him.
Pranay. Boy, have you lost your mind?
No,
I'll help you find it.
That's a good meme. Good meme.
Oh my god.
Okay, no, tell us what.
All right, I'll call them Jiminy and Cricket.
No,
Fuck it. That's
no,
the first
no,
thing.
no. One of them is gonna be called strawberry, and the other one's gonna be called something else.
Call the
Nice.
other one
Give me,
Candy.
give me the first. No, what the frick? Give me the first letter of the other one.
I'll call them L and S, whatever.
LNS.
Yeah.
All right,
What is-
sure. LNS
L
is fine.
and S. All right. So basically, I was talking to both of them, right? But I guess about different things. Like L and I were like we were friends in the sense of like kind of like we were just like homies, you know? Like we like always like meme around in science class. It was a fun time. And like I guess like at that point, like I was like talking to S more about like I guess like emotional shit, like emotional hangups. But anyways, it's like
Yeah.
kind of like not really super relevant, but like basically, I was talking to S and I was like, you know, I kind of like somebody, and like I was gonna like say who it was, but not until like in like a day or something. It was like some stupid shit that like only a middle schooler would come up with, like where like you would like hold off on like saying like who you like for like a while, and like I don't know why I decided to do that, but like I was gonna say that like I kind of like L, right? But like
Okay.
at least I was a plant. But then like S was like, I kind of like somebody too. I was like, really? Wow, who? Like it was completely oblivious. And then, like,
and I was like, wait, what are you talking
Dude, I
about?
feel like actually in middle school, this is how the majority of like the reveals of the things are done. Like, I
Yeah.
like somebody. You're like, oh.
And then like,
You're like, wait a
and
minute,
then
what?
like this is okay. Like again, this is all over like Google Hangouts.
Oh,
Or
that
like,
is
yeah.
the superior messaging service.
Oh yeah, Google Hangouts was a shit back in the day. But yeah, anyways, so so like she sends me this text saying that she likes somebody like in the morning, right? I don't see it. I go to school, spend the entire day just like completely oblivious. I'm just like seeing it. I'm like, hey, what's up? Just like normally.
God, no.
Well, okay.
What have you
Like let
done to
me
poor
rephrase
ass?
this. Like, okay, so like she said like I like somebody. I said who, and then she sent me the answer, which was me. But I hadn't seen
You
that,
didn't see
so
it.
I didn't
What
see
the
it
hell?
until I
How
came back.
disinterested are you in this person's love life?
Look,
You didn't care enough to even see
Look,
it.
man, I didn't read
No
my
way to
text
the
in the morning.
entire
Evan.
day.
Yo, Noah is no different nowadays. He still doesn't read his messages.
But anyways, so like I get back from school, I read it, and like it's like I see it's like it's you, and I'm like, ah, fuck. I'm like, I'm just sitting there like, what do I do?
Oh god.
I was like, what the hell do I do? And I was like, all right, I got to call in the lifeline. I got to call in
Proceeds
this
to
which is.
call it your boy. Oh my
I was like, what do I do? Yeah,
Advice
honestly,
that
it didn't
Jith
really
gave
matter.
you.
Oh,
Just with like just play it out. Just tell her you like her back. And I was like,
Play it
she was
out.
like, what are you doing?
You gotta
And
play it out.
I was like, okay. Because like here's the thing, right? Like, because like for a while I was like, no, I think I kind of like L, but like I was like, all right, like I also kind of like S, but like I think I like L more. But like S told me she likes me, so like at that point I
Seals
was
the
like,
deal.
stop. Yeah, like okay, middle school me, like with like my dumbass like.
No, I almost did the exact same thing as you.
I was about to say like I was about to say that like I like L more because I was a dumbass.
What the hell?
Thankfully Viswa told me not to. Well, not in so many words, but he told me not
Yeah,
to, and like I didn't.
Yeah, he didn't. Thank God.
But yeah, I mean, like it didn't really end up mattering that much because we only dated for like a week before she told me that she wasn't really super comfortable with it.
Well, no, I got baited.
No, it didn't get. It was actually the hardest bait, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine like a girl, like you're not even the one who instigates it. The girl's like, "Yo, I like you." They like, "I can do this, dude." Like, me out. What the hell? Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Dude, but I remember.
Look. S and I are still friends to this day. I completely forgive her because let's be honest, we were all
Pretty
really
stupid,
dumb
yeah.
back in middle school.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we were all
true.
feeling a bunch of feelings that we didn't really quite know how to handle.
Okay,
And
so
honestly, middle school is best left in the past where it belongs.
no, we go back.
If anybody,
Because
if
actually,
anybody's listening, and
I didn't know that much about the L part, but that makes your story and my story like eerily similar, Noah, if you think about it.
huh?
Can I
Really,
get-
really, wait,
What
go
do
on,
we-
then. Go on, then.
Let's go on.
All
I
right.
didn't know about this. I didn't know about this.
All right, so you have LNS. I have R&D, research and development.
Research
Oh my
and
God.
development.
R&D. Okay. So there's this girl R.
Uh,
She was in my Spanish class, I think. I forgot what class she was in.
Yeah.
But she was in my science class too. Lol. Okay, so she's in my science class, and I like her. I kind of like her. She's like pretty cool. Like hang out with her, but I'm not like exactly sure how I feel about it yet. And there's this other girl, also eighth grade. When was yours? No, was this in eighth grade?
8th grade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mine was
I
also eighth
remember,
grade.
yeah.
So,
It was like February, somewhere around there.
yeah. So R is in my science class. D is in my English class.
Ooh.
And
Oh, English.
English, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm in English class and I'm just chilling, I'm making jokes, being my hilarious eighth grade self, you know. You got the
Okay.
schmoobs, the eighth grade schmoobs. I had no schmoobs. But for some reason or another, okay. No, so no, like both L and S kind of, right? No?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was in the
basically.
same situation here.
Okay.
So I like research and development. Like it is what it is. So
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure, how to handle the situations. So I come to find out later that that D from R&D, we're talking over Google Hangouts. Yes.
Development.
We're talking over Google Hangouts.
Oh,
Me and
man.
development are talking over Google Hangouts. And she did the exact same conversation happens. I kid you not. She's just like, I like someone. I'm like, who is it? Except I read the text immediately, and she's like, "It's you."
Okay,
And I'm just like, "What the?" So I call Noah for an emergency sleepover. Okay, emergency sleepover. So I grab my sleeping bag. I book it to Noah's that night. I grab myself some Subway. And
I remember the
eat
Subway
fresh,
on the way.
eat fresh, ladies and gentlemen.
Classic.
So I get to Noah's house, and at this point in Noah's room, he recently got this huge whiteboard installed. Okay, so we're chilling in Noah's room. I'm eating my Subway. I'm snacking on some chips, and we're chilling in our sleeping bags. And I'm like, Noah, this is what just happened with development. But research is looking kind of fine though. So I don't know how I feel. And Noah's like, okay, let's work it out. So Noah takes the whiteboard, the marker, and he starts drawing graphs on the whiteboard. And he's like, you are here. Research is here. Development is here. and we create like this intricate graph. And Noah's like, you gotta work it out. Because you have positive confirmation that you're in with development. But research is still an unknown. So after using the whiteboard and doing all the decision calculus, we come to the conclusion that I gotta develop, and that development is the way to go. Okay, I gotta stop doing my research, but I still have a
Just to
thing for
develop.
research. Okay, so it is what it is. So I tell development that we good, I kind of like you too, and so we kind of keep moving from there. And for like a week ish, maybe like 2 weeks, it's going fine. And then like a week and a half in, shit becomes wild. Like for Noah, it was just kind of an amicable at the end. She's like, "Look, I can't do this anymore." And Noah's like a little sad, but he's like, "I okay." Mine was a complete What's the word? What's the word for this one?
181.
It was a clusterfuck from what I remember.
Yeah, that's what it is. Is it that's a good word. So, we have development. Where was I with the story? Yeah, so development and I are in an English class, and like a week and a half in, like I'm talking to her, I'm about to go to bed, and I'm like, okay, good night, and she's like, I love you, and I'm just like,
Ooh.
I'm just like,
Oh shit.
I'm just like, what the hell am I supposed to say? So,
Yo,
so I,
you should have reacted
so
with
I
like the
said good
thumbs
night,
up.
and I said good night.
Okay.
I said good night, and she said I love you, and I was like, what? What? What do I even do? So, I just pretend I just like go to sleep because I'm just like I told her good night, right? So I'm asleep now, and so I just
It's
don't respond.
automatically instantly.
So I pulled a note there. I just didn't look at the text. I didn't open it up.
Okay, look, I did not. Okay, look. Unlike you, I didn't look at the. It's not like I didn't check intentionally. I just straight up didn't know she texted me back because I don't look at my texts in the morning.
Okay, fair enough. Uh, so I just don't respond, and we go about our business as usual. And like it slowly becomes evident to me that development is a little crazy. Okay. And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go into any of the super specifics here because it's a little crazy. And by little I mean a lot crazy. But I had to like distance myself. Okay. And I will say that she was apparently maybe going through some stuff, but I couldn't break up with her. Uh can you help me out here, Noah? Could you help with the explanation? I
Well, from what I remember from like all the stuff you were explaining to me, like development was basically the epitome of like Tumblr problems.
yes.
Like all the shit you associate with Tumblr, I that was all like going through this like middle school girl's head right now. It was not a good time.
It's not especially for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she did this thing where I didn't know it at the time, but I recently found out about it. But you sort of just make up and fake problems for attention, and that's kind of what she did. So she was like kind of depressed, little suicidal, maybe, but like actually she wasn't, but she kind of pretended she was. Uh, it's a little serious now, but
Yeah.
I couldn't break up with her. I was like, what do you do in my situation,
I
right?
know.
Renee, what would you do? Let's take a poll.
I don't know.
How about you,
Just sit
Jacob?
there.
Yo, I would have just cut it off.
Oh,
Jacob has no chill.
Yeah, but like,
Jacob is cold as ice.
like what happens?
Like I would have just been like, you know what, this isn't working out. Clearly, you guys some
But I
problems.
didn't know she was lying about all the
Yeah, no,
depressive
I'd
stuff,
be
and
like,
I was
yeah,
like,
I
and if I
Like,
exacerbated, I was scared about what might happen,
yeah,
right?
no, I would definitely be like, oh, like I guess this is like if you were an older, like a more mature, I'd be like, yeah, you know,
We're in 8th grade,
yeah,
Jacob.
I know, so I don't know what I
oh
would
my
do as an
god.
eighth grader, but
Okay, so
Like
here's
somebody okay, like
here
somebody tells Jacob that like I would die for you, and Jacob be like, good, so do it.
what?
No, like just like heartless, man.
yeah, I'd be
Heartless.
like, you know, clearly you need help. Like I'm happy to help you, you know, get help, stuff like that. But I mean, this is becoming detrimental for me now. And then just like
that was the
end
point
it.
I was at, okay? That was the entire point I was at. So, um, I wasn't really sure what to do. So I came up with this grand plan of being the worst boyfriend ever,
I
so
remember
she would
this.
break up with me.
I remember
Yo, that
this.
8th
sounds like
grade
something like I don't know, straight up like a coming of age movie.
8th grade me was big brain as hell. Okay, so basically during English class, I would just go my separate way. I would just kind of distance myself, and slowly but surely, she was like, one day she came up to me and she's like, "This isn't working. Like, I think we should end it." And I was like, "Okay, if that's what you want, only if that's what you want, okay, only if that's what you want, homie." And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, cool. We out, dude." That night was a good day. That day was a great day. Uh,
I remember this. I remember this vividly.
yeah. No one had a little party that day. It was good. I actually don't remember if we did, but I had a little party that day for myself. Uh, because it's like a huge burden on me at that point, having to talk to her about everything. So while all that was going on, research was still just like I was still talking to research, and nothing ever really
Just a
did
little
end up.
behind the scenes action.
I mean, it's not illegal to talk to another person. It's not
I don't know, man.
not
I don't
illegal.
know.
And it's just a conversation.
Hmm.
Just a
Okay.
conversation.
And why?
I'm just gonna
Let's
say
see what
adultery is illegal in many
Heard
places.
about
But
this.
not in
What
8th
happened?
grade, and it didn't happen either way. Look, I didn't know how to flirt, so there's really nothing to it, okay?
Do you know how to flirt now? Because I kind of doubt it.
No, no, but 10th grade me
Some
was
things that.
moving. That's for another time.
Some,
10th grade me
oh
was
yeah,
moving. You can ask Renee.
I remember. You kind of became a fuckboy in 10th grade.
Hey, not really, but maybe. Okay,
You were a little bit. You were a bit
I
of
don't
a
wanna
fuckboy.
hear it, okay? No, I don't wanna hear it, okay? We'll talk about it later.
Renee, back me up here. He was kind of a
No,
fuckboy, wasn't he?
He was a Jith. He
I was a
was
jit, okay?
that,
I was a
He
jit.
was, he was a bit of a fuckboy.
No, I don't wanna hear it. 'Cause at this point, your rice purity test score exam thing is, like, very low, okay? So I don't wanna hear
Yo,
it.
Okay, look that.
he was failing the test to backstab the socialist education, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
So,
mean,
Noah, I just you don't. You stop it right now.
hey, look. At least I waited until after
I'm
I
gonna server
came of
meet your ass.
age.
I'm gonna server meet your ass.
Okay.
Okay.
You-
But
Use of
where
power.
was I in the story?
You're talking to research behind the scenes.
Research. Yeah, good old research. I never made the final move with research, but
research still a work in progress.
no, it was after 8th grade. Research went to a different school, so kind of
That's true.
just ended. But it was a good time, swell time. 8th grade. Uh,
You sound oddly wistful.
I mean that's because 8th grade. My grades were really good that year, actually.
Damn.
Yeah,
Mine weren't.
it's all
Yeah, my third grades were like peak me, and then they just went downhill from there.
It was bad, man.
for Brene. Yeah, but I just thought our stories were super similar. I didn't know about the L and S.
Yeah, I
Oh, you
mean,
should have switched the
whatever.
letters SNL,
Uh,
Saturday in Life.
uh, Saturday Night Live, whatever. I don't know. Like, honestly, it's all in the past now.
Yeah.
Like, looking back, like,
I mean, there's
all.
definitely those moments when you just look back and you just like cringe so much. You're like, oh,
It's really
Oh
cringe.
yeah, so many
It's really
times. Yeah,
I lie in bed and I just cringe sometimes. But
yeah.
development's gone better, it's everything's
Like,
fine. So
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I just like randomly, like my brain will like just bring up cringe, like just like most cringe shit I did like when I was younger, and I'll physically just like, ugh! Like I have to like make like a grunt in pain, like like sometimes I'll just like punch a wall because like I get just do the cringe.
yeah, you just can't imagine how stupid you were back
Oh
then.
my
You're
god.
just like,
Thankfully,
oh my
thankfully, looking back on like my time with SNL, I guess. I mean, like, I don't know, like, I was still a dumbass eighth grader,
you're
but
still a
like,
dumbass. I don't want to hear it.
I'm still a dumb. I mean, like, I'm a dumbass college student, but I was a dumbass eighth grader back then. And like, I mean, I think I acquitted myself okay. Like, at least I
Yeah.
wasn't Viswa, like intentionally being a shitty boyfriend.
You know what? It worked out. It worked out in the end.
It
Okay.
definitely worked out.
I think it was actually necessary.
Yeah,
What would
you
you
know
have
what?
done? You tell me.
Honestly, speaking frankly, I probably would have like gone all in because like back then, like I hadn't learned that there are some people you just can't help. I hadn't learned that yet, so I was still trying to help people like with like every fiber of my being, and I kind of
I
lost that
couldn't.
over the course of
I
high
didn't have the
school.
mental capacity at that point. Like it was just not healthy anymore. So I just
That's feels bad, man.
and like there was no good way to handle it. I don't know. I probably could have handled it better, but I was in 8th grade. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any eighth graders listening to us, but don't worry,
Don't do what we did. Do not.
it it gets better.
Yeah, this episode was just a giant PSA.
Yeah, PSA. If you're middle school or
Terry,
even in high school, don't worry, it gets better.
It does. I can.
Middle school
It
and
does.
high school are honestly like
It's
not
just a
super
mess.
off. Like
It's just a mess.
people are like there are people who are like, oh yeah, you'll like you will peak in high school. Like, like after high school, it's like downhill from there. Like I never get those people, right? Because like if you
Yeah.
think about it,
I don't
high
know. High
school is
school
like
was
kind of
fun. I mean, especially doing debate in those junior and senior year, like I enjoyed it
oh yeah, high
for
school is
sure.
definitely fun. But like if you think about like high school is like the most awkward period in your life, right? Because you have like all the responsibility of like a young adult. Like people like your parents are like, expecting you to like get good grades, go to a good college, maybe get a job, get like, all this shit. But you have none of the freedom associated with that, right? You don't get to like go out at night with your friends. Like there's no
I mean, no,
partying.
people
Well,
do.
I mean,
Like
people
our
do,
high
but
school
like you're not
experience was
supposed to.
like
You're not
vastly
supposed
different
to.
than like
Yeah.
people's. And
I mean, like people do.
say you're not supposed to, right? Like
But
some people, that's why high school they found like was the peak of their life, and I think they only feel that way because they had like a lot of freedom and
that's
they
true.
just kind of got to do all the things they want to do, and they didn't have to worry about stuff, right? Like when you're
But
in high
also,
school,
let's be
you're living
let's
with
be
your
real.
parents.
High school parties kind of suck, anyways.
Have you
I
ever been?
mean,
Into a high school
How
party
would you
now.
know?
Just
I'm just gonna say like
like what
a
kind of high school parties have you been to?
Also, like Noah, like where we went to high school, it's like this general
Yeah,
area
it's
is super try hard. Like
that's fair. That's
I think
fair.
the
We were
social
a lot of
life
tryhard
is like
Asians.
different.
yeah,
Yeah,
if
a
you
lot
go
of
to like
tryhard
a
Asians.
lot of other
But like, I mean, if you think about it, right? Like like what's got like a high school party going for it?
Okay,
I
well,
mean, it's
our
filled
high
with
school
high
parties,
schoolers, man.
all
It's
high
full
school
of high
parties,
schoolers.
honestly,
we had
I
just
feel
among
like you're
ourselves,
kind of
but
bashing it a little too hard. Like if all of us had a party with some other friends, like I think it'd still be fun.
But
yeah,
that's because our idea of a party is like poker without the alcohol.
I mean, other high school like to each their own, right? Like for some people, for them, high school was like a really good time. But I don't think high school, like if you in the future view high school as the peak of your life, you'll never try and improve yourself. So you should just like
I mean, yeah.
keep
I
improving
mean, I
yourself.
don't know. I
PSA.
feel like if you think that like high school is like the peak of your life, it's not because high school is inherently better than anything else. I think it's just because it's more of a you problem, really.
Yeah.
It's your fault, really, is what I'm saying.
And to end this episode, I think it's appropriate if we leave them with a little bit of juice for them wanting to listen to the next one.
A little
So
bit of
you
sauce.
can you can hear a bit more about 10th grade Jith and our high school experiences
oh yeah, the peak jet. So
Yeah, that
in
one,
the following
Yeah,
episode.
the
Yeah,
10th
so
grade JIT, that was a chronicle, man.
it's an entire
dude,
chronicle going to
10th,
span several
10th
episodes.
grade was a time. I did not enjoy the time, but it was a time.
I remember a couple months back, Jit was looking through like some pictures, and he was looking at his 10th grade self. And he was like, "Man, bro, like how I fall,
How
how
I fallen.
I'm gonna
It's
be
not going to
like
be my peak though. 10th grade is not going to
I'm
be
gonna
my
be
peak.
honest. Viswa just became like more of a nerd, really.
Yeah, true. Uh, but with that, we'll leave it there. Please check out the next episode of Stating the Obvious.